Chapter 16. I studied the pages in front of me. Ever since Mom had found out that I'd failed my last chapter review in math, she'd found even more ways for me to look at numbers. She said that she thought I could use a little practice. More than a little practice, if you ask me. I was now in charge of the household budget. Mom just didn't get it. With me in charge, we'd be broke in a week. Luckily, I was only going to be in charge for a month. Mom, if you'd cut back on all that organic stuff from the health food store, we'd have more money for other food, I suggested. More real food like ice cream with chocolate syrup and green sprinkles. You could never have too much of that stuff lying around the house. Mom grinned at me. Nice try, Einstein. She put down her cup of green tea. You know, Speaking of organic food, I saw Mrs. Wilson coming out of the health food store yesterday. Maybe she's turning into a health nut like me. I think I'll give her the recipe for my organic fruit punch at the next meeting. I bet she'd really enjoy that. I coughed up my peppermint tea. Yeah, well, you might want to hold off on that, I said. Mom still didn't know about the punch disaster. No use getting her upset or anything. She'd just been elected to the treasurer position. It had been a close call, 5 votes to 4. I wondered which way good old Mrs. Wilson had voted. I made her daughter sick, but then again, I made her daughter happy by giving her that trophy. Maybe one deed canceled out the other, like multiplying fractions. I had to think fast. She was probably just there to put up flyers for the school fundraiser, I said. It could have been true. There really was going to be a fundraiser, and Mrs. Wilson was sure to be in charge of it. I bet she's not interested in that organic stuff at all, I continued. Actually, I'm pretty sure of it. I heard her say she wouldn't touch that organic stuff if you paid her to. She says it's a total waste of money. I didn't mention the fact that Mrs. Wilson had only been talking about the punch. Some things are better left unsaid. Well, keep working on those numbers and see if we can cut some corners, Mom said as she headed out the back door. I'm going to go take a peek at the stars. I can't wait to borrow the telescope at the next meeting. She practically floated outside. Great, a telescope. Old starlight, black holes, wormholes. Just what I needed. That's how this whole mess started in the first place, looking for things that weren't there. Maybe I could talk Mom into buying a new video game with spaceships and aliens instead. She'd have lots of stars to look at then. I finished up the page I was working on and went upstairs to bed. Boy, was I tired. My brain wasn't used to working that hard. I was sure I'd be seeing numbers all night in my sleep. Maybe I could get Sam to help me out the next day. I'd come up with a really incredible plan to make this number stuff easier. Heck, that budget would practically write itself. After all, I'd already proven that two heads are better than one. I turned on the tap to brush my teeth. I gave them a quick scrub. I did my usual thing. I was just going to shut off the water when I decided to brush them a little longer, just this once. Who knows, just because I couldn't see those disgusting little germs, it didn't mean that they really weren't there. They might be just like dog whistles and wormholes. Like I said before, you've got to have an open mind about these things, or at least half of one.